Oh my goodness. I am so very excited because we have officially entered the second season of What the Quote. I have missed you guys so much. You have no idea. I have thought about you so often, so many times. And there's been a lot going on since then. So I'll give you a quick um, kind of a brief overview of what has been going on with me the last month. And then we're going to talk about a little bit about the episode today. But I wrote a theme song for the podcast. Here it is.
And with the quote, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness. Be a kind human. Be a kind human.
Yes. So if you are catching this on YouTube, you will probably notice that the background has changed. I wanted to do something special um, because it's my second season. I'm so excited. And so the background is a little different. I'm actually in the living room of my home, because I'm trying to be creative with where I live. Because for me, creativity is the theme for 2021. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But for this episode, I don't necessarily have a quote. Just going to be chatting about some different things, but I'll get into that in a second. But I wanted to let you know some things that have been going on with me since the last time we talked. I think um, was in November, I believe, the last episode. And since then, the studio on Mass Ave is officially closed. And um, it's been a new space for me to be in because I guess in my mind I thought since I've closed that everybody knows that I'm closed. So that's not the case because people get us in different kind of arenas on social media. I'm in the process of getting the website revamped. So I'll have an official launch later on this month. I'm extremely excited about. So I've kind of been kind of quiet because I'm doing a lot of organizing in the background. And so there are times where I'm telling people, hey, um, we don't have a brick and mortar, but we are mobile and virtual. And so just getting into the habit of saying that, closing the studio, which was a lot, let me tell you. So it's kind of like, how when you move, no matter how early you start, say you start packing 2 or 3 months before, like 2 hours before the movers come, you realize, oh my gosh, I still have so much stuff. So that's kind of how it was. I mean, it was a lot of cleaning, a lot of throwing away, a lot of boxing, a lot of, getting the floors back restored. It was a lot. And so I really, for December, I really just kind of decompressed. And it's been a beautiful journey. I've been giving myself a lot of grace. Um, there have been some hiccups that I have experienced, and really just I've just been learning from it. And it's been a beautiful transition going from a brick and mortar and then also experiencing some of the freedom financially and just with my time. And I'm free, I'm freer to do a lot of the other things that I'm enjoying. And so it's this last month has just been a month of rest, transition, creativity, and getting things organized in place with my business and my home, at the storage unit. So it's been a really beautiful process. And so I just wanted to update you a little bit on that. You'll hear more about what is actually going on with Mimosa and a Masterpiece in the coming weeks as we officially transition to mobile and virtual. So I'm very, very excited about that. But now, what the quote? I don't have a quote particularly because I was really focused on this concept that I'm going to be talking about today. So one of my things for 2021 is creativity. So you're going to hear me talk a lot about creativity this year. Um, One of the main reasons is because I believe that in my life and in the life of a lot of other people, we are at a point where we have to choose. And part of choosing is thinking about what we want to create in our lives. And um, I, you know, I love TikTok. It is a guilty pleasure of mine. And I love TikTok because it is a visual manifestation of creativity. I mean, listen, some of the videos that I see, I am amazed at just how creative people can be and how talented they are and how people are using their voice and their skills and their um, kids and themselves. Everything is just this platform of creativity. And one of the trends, I guess, on TikTok is this video of this or that. And so if you haven't been on TikTok, there's usually at least two people, and there are words that pop up on the screen, one on the left and on the right, and the words are opposing. And so there's this music that plays from Run DMC, and these words that pop up, and you move to the side of the word that you are. So I may not be explaining this clearly. So here's an example. So on the left side, when you look at the screen, you may see the word that says seafood. On the right, you may see hamburgers. So when the two people are in the middle and the music plays, they go to the side that they like. So, maybe the husband goes to the hamburger side and the wife goes to the seafood side. So it's this really fun and creative way of really giving your audience some personal information or funny information about you without saying, I like seafood. So I thought for this episode of the first episode of the year, I would use that trend, the this or that trend, to just give us some things to think about because there's some choices that we can make for 2021. And so one of the first choices is fear or faith. And as I was thinking about that, it's so ironic that both of those things are unseen. In a lot of examples as it relates to fear, we are thinking about the possibility of, if there was a time where I was fearful of dogs. And so the fear would come because I would see a dog and I would think, oh my gosh, he's going to get me, this, that, or the other. He's going to chase me. None of that stuff had happened. But in my mind, I was thinking about all of the possibilities of the things that could happen. just like faith, it's difficult to see. But when when I think about faith, the scripture says literally it's, what you cannot see. And so if you're forced with maybe experience, I don't want to say forced, but say you are experiencing maybe an illness or a sickness. Are you fearful of that, or do you have faith along the process? I know that a lot of us are experiencing COVID, or we know somebody who has experienced COVID. And I'm very, very sensitive to that because I had a cousin that passed. And so it's just a very sensitive time that we find ourselves in. But if you are sick, or you know someone who is sick, are you fearful, or do you have faith that it can work out, that you can be healed? Or are you focused on all of the negative, the statistics? Not saying that that's not a reality. It is. But how are you going to go through the reality that is presenting itself? With fear or with faith? Like, which side? And it could be anything. When you are faced with a choice, do you think of all of the things all of the horrible things that could happen, or all of the great things that could happen? This or that? Fear or faith? What about chance or choice? As it relates to maybe a job, maybe you are unfulfilled in the current job that you're in. Are you going to stay there because you've always been there? You know your job very well. Are you putting your future in the chance of the company that you work with or work for? Or are you going to make a choice to go back to school, start your own business on the side, start a partnership with somebody? Are you going to leave your career up to chance and put somebody else in the driver's seat of your career? Or are you going to make a choice to really create the career or the passion that you truly desire? And so I can remember when my son was maybe 2 or 3. And at that time, do y'all remember Casual Corner? I was working at Casual Corner. Well, I don't remember if it was Casual Corner or Paul Harris, one of those. And then I was also working at my day job. And I was like, you know what? If I don't go back to school, I'm probably going to be working 2 jobs for the rest of my life. And that is not something that I wanted to do in that capacity. I was kind of doing that, owning my own business, but that's a different story. I digress. But I made the choice to go back to school. I made the choice because I didn't want to, even though there was some compromise that I had to make over a long period of time to have that degree in my hand. I was so proud of myself. And so realizing that I can make the choice on my own to do something with my life that I want to do instead of leaving it to chance, to a supervisor, to a boss, to a company. And even at this time where a lot of people have lost their jobs, which is extremely sad, um, it can also be the perfect opportunity to do the thing that you have always wanted to do. I can't remember who said it. Oh, I can't remember if I heard it in church or where, but it was like, do you go to school or do you keep working? It takes you 4 years or 5 years, however many. It took me 18 years to finish my first degree, but that time is going to pass anyway. 4 years is going to pass anyway. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to still be in the same place that you have been 4 years from now? That's the choice. That's the choice. This or that. And one of the last things that I want to talk about is past or purpose. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about purpose and people wanting to find their purpose. What's their purpose in life? And I get it. I do, because listen, I'm right there with you. But I also know that one of the things that hinders people the most is living in the past. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. The thinking, if you are faced with something that you really, really love to do, something that people tell you you're great at or ask your advice on, and you are at a point where you have a choice to make. Do I step into that purpose, even though I may not feel like I'm fully ready? Maybe I don't have all of the finances. Maybe I'm thinking that there are people who have more credentials than me. Do I do that? Or do I just stay where I am because I'm thinking the last time I tried that, it didn't work. She tried it, it didn't work. They are more fill in the blank than me. You know, it's almost like, are you going to give yourself a chance? This morning, I went a new way to work. And I know that seems like it is such a small thing to do. But what I realized this morning was I took myself off of autopilot, is what I did. And I just went one street farther and then made a left. But all the scenery was new. All of the houses, the cars parked on the street, all of it was new. And I think that sometimes we get so used to doing the things yesterday, we do those same things today, which really keeps us stuck in the past. So it looks like a new day, but really It's not. And so, purpose is more about taking steps in a new direction, trying something new, going to a new place, reading a new book, taking an online course. One of the things I did in November is I took a meditation class online. Listen, when I tell you, like, I didn't even know you could do it. And there were 32 people in the class from all over the world, all over the world. And there was a young lady who was lived in Indianapolis who had actually been to Mimosa and a Masterpiece. What are the odds that this random class, this random meditation class that I took online, I met people from Switzerland, another lady was from Japan. I mean, all of these great people I met because I wanted to take a meditation class. Because eventually I want to teach meditation to people. And so that is me taking steps, moving toward my purpose, really choosing to get out of a box. Because listen, you can do it. You could do almost anything on Zoom. That is one of the things that COVID has taught us. And so, this whole thing of purpose and passion, nobody is going to help you find that. Nobody. Even if you go to a coach, the coach is going to ask you questions about what do you like? What did you want to do? Like, it's, I was talking to a beautiful human being today, and one of the things that we were sharing is that coaches want you to be the expert on you. I'm an expert in coaching other people to become experts in themselves because you know what's best for you. Now, I got some great questions for you, but your purpose is only going to be found by you. And that means that you are going to have to choose. Have faith to get out of the place that you are currently in. Doing the same thing tomorrow that you did today is not going to get you there. That is not going to allow you to be creative, to literally create the life that you want to live. Faith, choice, and finding your purpose. And this is a fantastic time to do that. Today, right now. Hey, whatever time you are looking or listening to this, do it now. And it starts with you doing something that you've never done before. I took an online class on meditation. You should have seen me in the living room on the floor. No, I'm just kidding. But, one of the new things that I learned is that they have things called walking meditation. And I was like, this is not going to work. Who does that? It really works. You can walk and be mindful while you walk. Who knew? So, this or that, which one? Which one are you going to choose? I would invite you to choose what is going to allow you to create what you want to create in your life. This or that, your choice. Well, we have come to the end of another episode. The first episode of the second season. Can you believe it? The first season, I think I did 19 episodes. Can you believe that? 19. Amazing. So, what I decided was that I'm going to take 2 breaks. I'm going to take a break in July and a break in December to rejuvenate, to, really whatever that entails. So get ready. I'm excited about this second season and the episodes that I'm going to be taping. One of the things that I have also decided to create is to step up my game. I'll share more of that with you in the coming episodes. But thank you so much for being on this ride with me that just started with me wanting to use my voice. And I'm excited at all of the ways that that has happened and is happening. And thank you for being on this journey with me. Hey, What the Quote podcast. Tell all your friends about it. It's a great way to be kind to yourself. This or that. Hey, I wrote a theme song. Let me play it. You want to hear it? Here it goes.
And with the quotes, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness. Be a kind human. Be a kind human.
Talk to you soon. Take care. Be kind.